Y'all, your girl had an epiphany. Um, so as you guys know, who has been like on my page for a while, you know that I take care of my daughters. I have two daughters, right? Okay, so both of their names, although I only picked the name of my youngest daughter, their dad picked the name of our oldest daughter. And y'all, both of their names mean they're the same thing. Both of their names, Eliana and Elia, it both means God has answered. And this whole time, I was just like, okay, God has answered what exactly? Because I was looking at the situation, I was just like, okay, it's me and the girls. So, like, how is this my answer? Like, what was I praying for? And long story short, I got to thinking, like, oh, wow. Like, lately, I ain't gonna lie, my daughters have been getting on my nerves lately. And it finally dawned on me, like, oh, wow. This whole time, I've been praying to be loved how I love. Like, I always consider myself like I love hard. And I used to be like really clingy, especially in relationships. I always wanted to be up underneath my partner. Um, and I thought that was genuinely true love. I thought that was, how we're supposed to function in a relationship or marriage. We'll always spend time together and just, never be apart from each other. And now here I go with two kids who they don't like me doing my own thing. They get upset if I'm even outside just sweeping off the porch, and I'm just like, y'all, I'm just trying to get away from y'all for a minute. Like, I don't need the whole day away from y'all. I just need a couple of minutes. And it's crazy because I can honestly say that in my relationship with their dad, I did not like for him to do his own thing. I did not like him to have a separate life from me. Like, I just thought if we love each other, we need to be together all the time. Like, but I'm seeing now that was like the inner child in me. That was the child in me, the unhealed child who, is still trying to cling to that parent just in him, and something I've learned in a relationship and marriage, y'all, if we do not heal them childhood wounds, all we doing is looking for a parent. You think I'm grown, I'm trying to date. No, you are looking for your parent inside of a man, or vice versa, looking for your mother in a woman, But we don't realize that that's what we doing, y'all. We don't realize it. We just think, oh, he cute or she cute, oh. But no, you're being drawn to this person because they remind you of a parent that you wanted to get close to, that maybe you didn't get a chance to, or maybe there was a delay. Maybe something happened, or maybe, I don't know. Everybody's situation a little different. But, y'all, that blew my mind. And so now I see why he wanted so much space. Now I see why he was snapping on me. Now I see why he was just like, bro, I just need a minute. Like, I just need space. And I'm like, what do you need space for? Like, we love each other. Like, you don't need space from the people that you love. And here I am with two kids who are showing me who I was. Okay? And it's like I'm receiving that love, and with it coming from a child that's pure, that's honest, that's how it's supposed to be. But coming from an adult, that wouldn't be healthy. It wouldn't be healthy for a healthy man to feed into my clinginess. That's not healthy. That's not normal. And so when we come across people who see that in us, it's just we're not going to understand what they're saying, because once again, we're not looking at it from like an actual adult perspective. We're still looking at the situation from that little girl, her perspective. And her perspective is, you're my daddy, you need to be here, you need to be taking care of me, you need to be here giving me your love, your attention, and not putting it on anything. That is a little girl crying out. But an adult woman is just like, okay, I'm a woman. I got my things. I'm situated. I'm stable within myself. You want to go out? Okay, cool. Go. Do your thing. I'm not losing anything with you not being here. Just your presence. That's it. But I have other people around me who love me. I have other people I can talk to. I have other things I can do. I got a job. I'm busy. There's other things that I can do to keep myself occupied while you are away, and not forcing myself to do it. I just realize I have bills that I have to pay and kids that I have to tend to. Like, this ain't nothing pretending. This is real now. And it's just like, now the universe has blessed me with 2 children, so my hands are full. I am occupied, and on top of that, I am working. Like, I have to keep my job to keep a roof over my head. Like, I have to tend to these things. These are not things that I'm making up like, oh, I'll just do this while he's away. Like, no, I have to do this while he's away because I have responsibilities now. I have things that I have to focus on, So, y'all, we be thinking we healed, we be thinking that we grown, we be thinking that we really know what we doing out here, but Spirit just showed me that I was literally a little girl looking for my dad and their dad. And it's like, after a while, the person who we are subconsciously drawn to, because they remind us of a parent, they start to, it's kind of like, I don't want to be your daddy, I want to be your man. Like that, if that makes sense. Like, because there's a difference. And a lot of times I think we confuse the two. And I think that's why, like, we should kind of like stop with calling our partners daddy or stuff like that. Because when you confuse the two, you really do cause a disturbance in the adult flow of love. Adult love is mature. It's independent. It's 2 whole and complete people who are satisfied with themselves. Those 2 people coming together. That's what that is. Not, and if something happens to one of them to where they have to lean on the other one, cool. Or something, vice versa. Have each other's back, most definitely. But as far as one partner being broken down, needy, missing, lacking, and the other partner fulfilling at every aspect while they not really getting nothing in return, y'all, that is a parent-to-child relationship. And some people are all right with that. But as far as a healthy relationship, a healthy man would not want to play daddy to a grown woman or to a young lady. He would want to just simply be her man. Now, a man who maybe, I don't know, maybe if he had to grow up taking care of the house or he had to grow up too fast, maybe he would like a female like that, to take care of her and to be her knight in armor. But what if she heals from her wound and now she don't need him anymore? So that's why, y'all, we have to make sure we are healed from our childhood before we go looking for a partner. Because if we don't heal from it, we are just simply looking for the parent that we did not get enough of something from. But yeah, and it's not until we actually heal that wound. And sometimes the different ways for us to heal that wound, a lot of times we, like in my situation, I had to give birth to 2 daughters to reflect back to me what I've been putting out and how I have been viewed from the eyes of their dad. This whole time I was thinking, okay, well, you just don't love enough, or you're not clingy enough, or you don't crave a connection with me enough. I know it's me. It's me. Like, y'all, it's wild, but just know we have to heal. And it's like the only way we know we healed is when we can point out that behavior, know that it's not healthy, and do the opposite thereof. Me seeing my kids constantly clinging with me, I'm seeing the effects that it's having on me. So now moving forward, I know in relationships, just with people in general, not even just romantically, but people need their space. They need their time. If they want to do something separate, that's absolutely normal. It's healthy. It's okay. It's not good to be up underneath a person all the time. Even if you live together, y'all still need to be in like separate rooms, or just when you wake up, probably have breakfast together, but you need to go your separate ways or something. and then come back together at the end of the day or something like that. But constantly being up underneath your partner, I'm saying now, it's not healthy. I see how it feels. It's very frustrating for the partner. It's very overwhelming. And the only way I know that is because I see how I am responding and how I feel to my daughters constantly wanting to be with me, constantly interrupting me whenever I'm trying to do something I want to do. Or if I'm just simply in there trying to take a bath by myself, they like, Mommy, can I join you? I'm like, no. No. I have spent all day with you. I don't want to take a bath with you. That don't mean I don't love you. It don't mean that I'm losing love or interest. But yeah, you know that you've healed that part of you when you can recognize it, not only in other people, but in yourself. If you can recognize, okay, I am being a little clingy, or I am being a little controlling, or I am being whatever the case may be. In my case, it's clingy. Okay? And getting upset whenever he wanted to do things that didn't involve me. Like, I would take that so personal. Like, oh, you don't love me anymore. You're losing interest. You're losing feelings. And like, I'm seeing now through my daughters, like, no, it's not that I don't love you anymore. It's just I want space from you. I've spent all day with you. I sleep beside you. I wake up and you right there. Throughout my day, you are right there. When I go to sleep, you are right there. And it's to the point kind of annoying. It's just like, I kind of want to sit to myself sometimes just to think, or just to watch videos on my phone, or just to poop in peace, pee in peace, take a bath in peace by myself. That doesn't mean I don't love you. That doesn't mean any of that. It's just I am a human being and I need time to myself sometimes just to rejuvenate, or just to, feel back in tune with myself so that I can be my best self for not only you, but, for myself as well. If I don't get enough time to myself, I can't be good to you, because then I'll be depleted of my own attention and love. And if I'm not spending time with myself, I'm going to be snappy towards everybody else, because, but, yeah, it's not healthy to constantly be up underneath your partner. Like right now, I'm trying to record a video, but my daughter, the thing that's on her mind is her cheese stick. She doesn't see what I'm trying to do. She doesn't really care about it, because she's operating from a child's perspective. A child, all they know is my needs, what I want, what I need. They don't really know, okay, but mommy is doing something. They don't understand that. Their brain doesn't process that just yet. And so now I see that was literally the child in me functioning with their dad. It's like I didn't have that empathy in place. I didn't fully understand or was able to put myself in his shoes, yeah, I was just focused on me, my needs, my wants. I want to be with you. I want to spend time with you. I. And anytime it was just like, okay, well, he wants something different, then I would take offense to it. Because it's just like, oh, so you don't want what I want. And then it's like, okay, well, now you're the enemy. Now you don't love me. And I'm seeing now it's like, that's not the case. It's just not, I re-recording this video and telling my daughter to wait. She could get upset about it, but that's normal for her. She's a child. But for me, that's not normal. It's not normal, for me to have expectations, have needs, have wants. Nothing's wrong with that. But forcing it on my partner to fulfill, or rushing him to do that despite what he has on his plate, maybe he had a goal in place, but here I am, like, I want to do this, and like I'm trying to rush him to fulfill my goal, and he has something else in mind for himself personally. It's just not fair. It's not normal. It's not healthy, so I have been learning so much from these kids, and they have been helping me to recognize where I went wrong in my relationship with their dad. Just helping me to really see myself from the lens of their dad, why he pulled back, why he was grouchy towards me, why he always wanted space. I just really thought, like, oh, you don't love me anymore. Like, you You don't care about me anymore. Like, that's how I interpret it. That's how the little girl in me interpreted it. And now I have children, and I tell them to wait, or I tell them I want to take a bath in peace, and they throw tantrums. I'm like, dude, I have spent all day with you. Like, yo, like, it's not that serious. Like, I just need a minute away from you. And then if I don't get that minute, I'm very grouchy, and I start yelling at them and stuff and popping them, and I know they don't like that. So it's just like, okay, well, if you don't want me to be grouchy, if you don't want me to be snappy, give me space. Whenever I feel whole and rejuvenated within myself, I will come back to you. I will come back. I promise. I will come back. So, yeah, y'all, that's just an epiphany that I had. We seek out our parents and whoever we date. And whatever we did not heal, whatever we did not fully understand as a child, we tend to get with a partner who things will play out a certain way to where we will see. It's like we will get that answer. Why that parent wasn't there, we'll get that answer through ourselves with our own children. You know, or why was mommy quiet? Like, my mom, her favorite thing was shutting down. She just wouldn't talk. And now I have children, and I get tired of yelling at them. I get tired of popping them. So I do the same thing. And it's just like, oh, wow. You know? And I see things clearly now because I am a mom, and I am in the shoes of the person who I felt wronged by in a way. I used to feel wronged by my mom shutting down. I used to feel wronged by my dad not really being there and putting his attention and focusing on the children. But now I have children of my own, and I understand fully why my mom shut down, you know, and why it was just us girls in the house, you know. Because this whole time I thought, okay, my dad left, but no, my mom, she did what she felt was best, and I did what I felt was best, you know. But a child's mind does not process that. A child's mind does not understand that, and we're supposed to understand with time, but sometimes we don't, you know. So that's why, as adults, we end up in relationships operating from and having questions of a child. You know, trying to seek out answers in a person that we didn't get those answers from our parent, you know. And it's a very vicious cycle, and certain people are placed in our lives to kind of help us get that answer, you know. And it's after we get that answer what we do with it. It's like, okay, now you have your answer. Now you know why this parent was like this, why this played out like that, why this person was like this towards you. And it's up to you to change that behavior, change your thinking patterns, or understand. It's what you do moving forward. So now that I know that it's not healthy to constantly spend time with your partner, it's like I have to, well, now I done got to a point, now I have two children. So now I can't spend my whole entire day just on my partner, because my kids, they need stuff. They want to play with me. They want to do this. They want to do that. And now I done got to the point, too, to where I be needing time to myself, too. I get very frustrated with whoever I'm dating, or whoever I'm friends with, or family. Like, if I have not been spending enough time for myself, I start snapping on people, being much more... I started being much more impatient with people, much more careless, much more cold-hearted, detached, distant, snappy, when I don't take enough time out for myself. And that's how I would describe how their dad was. And this whole time I'm just like, oh, you're not the same. You're at first you used to listen to me, you used to be there for me, you used to, and it's just like, yeah, he used to. Until I started becoming clingy and controlling and dominating and just overwhelming to be around, you know? So, yeah. If you're constantly demanding the time of a person, constantly demanding their energy, their time, it's like it has to freely be given to you. But if you go around demanding it, and you're demanding that person to give you something that they're not able to at that moment, and if they give it to you, it'll be grudgingly, and you don't want grudgingly love. You don't want grudgingly energy. You don't want that. It doesn't feel good to receive, but that's what happens when we poke the bear. That's what happens when we go demanding and forcing things, so I have been learning so much from these children, and it kind of helps with me having children, because now I'm able to see, like, okay, you are a child, you're my child, you're my inner child. It's like my inner child is outside of me now in the physical realm, and it's like now I get to distinguish the difference between my child, my inner child, and me, an actual adult, so moving forward, when it comes to dating, which right now I'm single, but I know what to put in place moving forward, not to force anything. Don't be blowing up nobody's phone. Don't demand or force anything. If he wants to hold you at the end of the night, he gonna hold you. If he ain't held you, he just doesn't have the energy. His mind is somewhere else. He don't feel well. He's upset about something already. He already has something on his chest, on his mind. He's just not in the mood. Does that mean he don't love you? No. That just means that man's mind is somewhere else right now. And it's affecting his ability to actually be there for you emotionally, mentally, and physically. And in that moment, that's where compassion and stuff like that comes in. But at the end of the day, we do have to remember our needs, our wants, our love language. Because even with my daughters, we do have a routine to where we cuddle at night and I hold them. But some nights, if they frustrate me so bad, or if I have something that has like really, really, really been rocking my brain and my heart and my energy, I just tell them to go lay down, and I stay out there trying to calm myself down, or I go out there and take a bath and just tell them to just do their own thing, and it's like I have to be able to acknowledge my tired self and my partner, moving forward. Like, okay, if he's acting a little different, okay, if I was acting different with my children, what would be the reason? It's not because I don't love them. You don't ever stop loving your kids, but sometimes you grow to not be in the mood to be around them, occasionally, because your mind is on other things. Sometimes you get bad news. Sometimes there's conflict with family. Sometimes you may, I don't know, have like negative thoughts about the past, and it comes back, and, just there's many reasons. But it doesn't all boil down to, oh, he don't love me no more. When I tell my kids to come lay down, me not loving them, that is not even in the equation ever, Or if I tell them no to something that they want, it's never because I don't love them. And I see that now, But that has always been my interpretation. Oh, you don't want to spend time with me? You're losing interest. You don't love me. Oh, you want to hang out with the guys tonight instead of watching movies with me like we normally do? Oh, you don't love me. You don't care anymore. You don't want me anymore. But now I have children. And sometimes I want to go out with my sisters. Sometimes I want to just, let them go and I come home, watch movies or something and just chill. Or just like, sometimes I don't want to be around my daughters. Does that mean I don't love them? No. That's just for my own sanity, for my own peace, for the sake of my relationship with myself. I can't be good to nobody if the relationship I have with myself is absolute shit. I just can't function like that. If I have not been sleeping well, if I ain't been pampering myself right, like I'm supposed to, if I ain't been tending to my mental health, I will be a complete nightmare in everybody's life. I will be more snappy, less patient, because the side of me when I spend time with myself, like to the fullest, and I am in a good state with myself, that's when I tend to be my most sweetest self to other people, my most kindest self, my most patient, my most understanding, my most compassionate self. But if I have things on me that I have not been dealing with, if I have emotions that I've been suppressing because I've just been trying to be there for everybody else, spend time with everybody else, it's gonna end up showing. I'm gonna start snapping on people and reading people their rights. Like, that's when a whole nother side of Lana comes out, because I have been neglecting myself, you know? So moving forward, I know in a relationship, let him go have time to himself. Let him go be with other people. Let him, like, give it space. Give him an opportunity to breathe. Give him an opportunity to miss you. Give him an opportunity to, spend time with what's on his mind and on his chest, So, yeah, and something else I learned is if he want to talk about it, he will. I used to have that bad habit of, it's like, what's wrong? Tell me. And it's just like, when I have that shit done to me, that irks me so bad. Because if I tell you I don't want to... if I tell you I don't want to talk about it and you continue to be in my face, that's when I shut down. That's like the fight or flight. And from that point forward, I honestly wouldn't want anything to do with you for a really long time, because it's like you forced me into a corner. I'm telling you, I don't want to talk about this, and you are forcing me in a very uncomfortable situation. So not only are you making me uncomfortable, you're pissing me off, and you're upsetting me, and you're frustrating and overwhelming me, because you're making me have a conversation that I am not ready for just yet. So that's when another side of me emerges, and you get cussed the fuck out, or God forbid, you get slapped, So that's, I see now, when he says he's not ready to talk about something, or if he says not right now, that means drop it. And if I still want to talk about it, okay, cool. I can go to my therapist. I can go write that shit down on my journal. I can go for a ride, talk to my damn self, talk to the Lord, somebody, just not him, Because I was watching a damn movie last night. I was watching a movie last night. It was called Till Death Do Us Part. And the dude was telling her that he will talk about it later. And she was just like, no, we're finna talk about it right now. Her ass got slapped. So, note to self, if he say he don't want to talk about it, if he say not right now, or if he says I need a minute, or if he says give me space, that is my cue to hush. Go find something else to do, because he's not ready. He's not ready. And we can't make a person be ready for a conversation about anything just because we want to talk about it, just because we are ready. Once again, it's just about we. But what about him? Or what about her? For a conversation to be had, both people need to be ready. Both people need to be open to it. But if one person is still needing a little bit more time to process before they speak, that's absolutely fine. Because nothing good comes out of forcing a person to get into a situation that they are not in control of their emotions just yet for. People need time to process. If you don't process an emotion, it just comes out any type of way. You're likely to get slapped, So if he says not right now, leave it alone. That's something I've learned through that movie, and also just in real life experiences, because if I want to talk about it, trust me, I'm going to talk about it. You're going to hear my mouth. But if I say out of my own mouth, not right now, I don't want to talk about it, that means I need more time. I need more time to gather my mind. I need more time to gather my composure. I need more time to understand and, get myself together for this conversation. It won't be pretty results if I'm forced into a conversation I'm not ready for, So, yeah, y'all, my eyes have been open to me. I have been able to see myself through their dad's lens. you know. And it's the way I would describe the person that I see through their dad's lens is clingy, annoying, overbearing, frustrating, um, controlling, careless, um, disrespectful to some point, because if you're not caring about your partner, how they feel, and if they're telling you they need space or they want to spend time with their friends or they want, you know, just a day to their damn self. If you can't be okay with that, that's letting like you don't respect their boundaries. You don't respect how they feel or what they're thinking. And I remember him telling me, like, what did he say? You're not respecting my boundaries. And at the time, I knew nothing about boundaries because I had no boundaries. Like, boundaries was a new word to me then. I was like, boundaries? What the fuck is that? Like, I do respect you. And that's something I always would say. I do respect you. I do respect you. I do respect you. But no, I didn't. When you respect the person, you listen to them. You have empathy for them, whether you agree with them or not. I want to spend time with you. Okay, you want to do something else, though. Respect would be, okay, go ahead and do your thing. Now, also, there you go again, like making a person feel bad for or trying to force them to do something you want them to do. You know, and or trying to make them feel bad about it or having an attitude for them having opposing views from you. That's not healthy. That's not showing respect. You know? So, I have been recognizing a lot. I've been seeing parts of myself that I did not see before. And I can honestly say that I wasn't pleasant to be with. I just wasn't pleasant. I wasn't. It wasn't pleasant to be with me, you know. Beautiful spirit, of course. Very beautiful spirit. Playful. Very caring. A good listener. But overall, my energy was very demanding. My energy was very forceful. And that would make any man shut down or run away, you know. So, yeah, I have been realizing a lot, y'all. But something I've learned is like the way that I function, like completely, the way I function in a relationship, it was not healthy. It's like I have to redo the whole fucking shebang. I have a lot of reprogramming to do and a lot of unlearning. You know, 'cause I used to double text a bunch of times, call and shit. If he not responding, I keep texting, keep calling. Like, no. Or if he said he didn't want to do something, I try to persuade him to do the shit anyway, or I force it, make a big deal about it. You know, he didn't want a relationship from the jump. He wasn't ready. But I insisted, you know, and it's just, I just see that, like, I had good intentions behind it, but, like, the energy, the force behind it, nothing mature can flourish when it's being forced, you know, and I've been realizing a lot about myself. So it's like, moving forward, the way that I did things before, I have to completely toss away that whole mentality. I have to, like, clear a house completely, you know, because that was not healthy. That was not normal. That was not wanting to spend every second, every minute with him, and the second he wanted to do something separate from me, having a problem with it, thinking the worst, being insecure, blowing up his phone like that. It's not normal, you know. So this time that I've been spending to myself and having my children here, it's just, it helps me to recognize now when I'm doing something. I'm like, is this reminding me of something that my kids do? And if it is, then I need to stop. Because with me being 22-year-old, there's nothing that I need to be doing that is in resemblance of a child. Now, children, they're pure, and if it's something like curiosity, creativity, stuff like that, it's good. But as far as like nagging, begging, forcing, throwing fucking tantrums, that is not acceptable. That's not normal. It's not healthy. It's not mature. It's not, that will push a person away. Maybe you do have genuine love for a person, but if you're loving them from a child's perspective, it's immature love. It's immature love. It's puppy love. I guess that's why they call it puppy love. Because when you're a little puppy, you don't know certain shit. You operate in a very youthful and naive and just a very immature way. It's very immature. It's not serious. It's not stable. It's not mature. It's not rational. It's the opposite, you know? But a mature love, a healthy person is not going to put up with you blowing their damn phone up. A healthy person is not going to put up with you trying to spend every second, every minute with them. A healthy person is not going to accept this shit. If anything, you would just push them away. You would make them grow to resent you, you know? And that's something I had to experience for myself. And through my children, I see why now, you know, where the frustration kicks in and you wanting time to yourself and things of that nature, you know. But, yeah, y'all. This journey of growing, healing, realizing, evolving is very beautiful. But, like, the main thing is, like, just being honest with ourselves, pointing the finger back at ourselves, you know, because that situation with their dad, it ain't just him. I played a part in that, a big part, you know? And once we can recognize our part, moving forward, we can correct that behavior moving forward, you know? I can't guarantee what my next partner will be like or what they will do, but I know that I will be mature. I know that I will be healthy. I know that I will operate from a very mature and solid energy. And if they're not on the same frequency as that shit, I know what to do moving forward, you know? So, yeah. I would also say to add this, like, before I close this video out, I was very, like, dependent as well. And I also wasn't really pampering myself. Like, I'm just now getting to the point where I'm actually getting my nails done faithfully, keeping my hair out, taking care of my skin. I have, like, an acne skincare routine and every fucking thing. I work out every day now. Like, I do shit that, like, I was not doing when I was with him, you know? And it was because my focus was solely on him. You know, once again, a child, they're so focused on mommy, daddy, where's she going? What's she doing? And what they overlook, did you clean your fucking room? Did you do your homework? Did you go to your band practice? Like, a child overlooks themselves if they have an anxious attachment style to their parent. They constantly want to know, what is that parent doing? And so that's how I was operating. I was so focused on their dad that I was neglecting myself. I was not pampering myself. I wasn't taking care of myself. I just was not. I just was not loving me, taking care of me. I just wasn't. You know? I just wasn't. My mind was so on him, what he's doing, how he's feeling, what he thinks, where he going. You know, who he texting and stuff like that. Just petty. My mind was always on him. You know? But now I've been put in a situation to where I have to focus on me, you know, my health, my mental health, my emotional health. I've been in therapy for almost a fucking year now. I wasn't in therapy when I was with him. I just was very neglectful of myself, you know, and also depended on him. If anything went wrong in my life, it's like I expected him to, you know, it even got to the point where I was expecting him to give me a damn car. You know? Not like he had plans with his own damn money or like he, you know, just cutting into his life, his finances, because I lacked accountability. I lacked will to go get my own shit. I lacked motivation. I lacked, you know, the same drive that he had, you know. So, yeah, I have been learning so much. But being out on my own, being single, being to myself, it has been showing me a lot, you know. And I managed to get my car, and this apartment, all of that stuff. And with the things that I'm taking care of now, like, if somebody came up to me and was like, hey, can you buy me a car? Like, even the person I'm dating, like, that would instantly be a turnoff. And I honestly wouldn't even ever talk to that person again. It's just like, if I can come out here and make this happen by myself, like, you can do the same thing. Like, you're no different from me. I'm not your mom. I'm not, no, I just want to be your lady. Like, I'm not trying to, like, no. You're not finna leech off of me. You're not, no. Especially with me having kids now. Like, it's my job to take care of my children. It's my job to make sure they have. It's my job to, you know, provide for them. I don't owe this shit to anybody else. Especially not no grown-ass man or grown-ass woman. So, to speak about myself, I was expecting their dad to get me a car. I was expecting him to get us housing. I was expecting. You know, and now that I got in here and got these things myself, I realized, like, oh, damn, I could have done it myself. Why was I expecting him to do it? You know, and why was I getting upset with him because he didn't do it? You know, he had his own car, and I was upset because he didn't give me a car. You know, it's just petty, selfish, self-centered. Just not a good person to be with. If I could list on paper who I was when I was with him, I would run away from that person. Like, I would not want to be with her either. You know, I wouldn't want to be with her either. But, like, being out on my own, now that I have conquered all that I had to conquer by myself, and I see the beauty and the power that's within it, I'm like, and along the way, he tried to motivate me. And now I see the beauty in all of that. I see what he was trying to tell me. But at the time, he was talking to a fucking child. He was talking to a little girl that just wanted her daddy. That's who he was talking to and dealing with. You know? So, now moving forward, I know what to do. I know how to carry myself. I know how to conduct myself. And once again, this is like new information to me. So sometimes I might slip up, but it's like I would have to catch and get on to myself. Like, hey, you're going back to your old behavior patterns. You're going back to that little girl. You're not her no more, you know? So, like, kind of like snap, like, get it together. You're not yourself right now, you know? Just stop and ask myself, am I reminding myself of my kids? Is this something that my kids would be doing right now? And if it's something good, like playing around, being jokeful, stuff like that, that's actually good reminders. Because I do feel like you do need young energy in your relationship, your marriage. Still have fun with each other, still play and shit like that. But I have to note to myself, if he look like he having a bad day, if he say stop, that means stop. I had a bad habit as that as well. I used to have a bad habit. He would tell me to stop doing something, and I would continue to play with him. You know, now if he would have smacked the fuck out of me, he wouldn't have been wrong. You know, I would have made it to where he was wrong, but he wouldn't have been wrong because he told me to stop. And I did not, ever. I never stopped when he told me to stop. So, yeah, just note to self moving forward. It's like the whole way that I operated before, I have to throw that whole fucking system away. because it does not work in the real world. It does not work in the actual, real, adult, mature relationship and marriage. This shit will not work. So, yeah. Big facts. So yeah, I'll go ahead and let y'all go. I just wanted to share this epiphany with y'all. If anybody else resonates with this, just know, y'all, we got a lot of work to do on ourselves. It's easy to point the fingers at the other person. It really is. But what happens when that person is gone? Y'all separated, that gives you time to look at yourself. What did you do? What could you have done differently? How could you have carried yourself better? How could you have had more boundaries and self-respect for yourself, self-love for yourself? It's just accountability. Because relationships, it takes two to fuck up a relationship. If it takes two to make a relationship, it takes two to fuck it up. So, just where did I go wrong? What could I have done different? How could I have carried myself a little better? How could I have communicated better? Because I used to have a bad habit of get pissed off and just stop talking. Or I'd block him. Or I'd, make it very hard for him to get back in contact with me. And he would try to get in contact with me, through like family and stuff like that. But, so now moving forward, and that was like my main issue, which I still have to work on that because sometimes I still do get pissed off and stop talking. But I'm learning now that that's not healthy. It's not good. It's not mature either. When you have a problem with somebody, you let them know, you communicate. Now, I'm still practicing on that part in particular. But it's a learning process, and I'm like really excited to see myself grow and learn and evolve. Like it's beautiful to feel yourself becoming who you are designed to be. And, just having compassion on yourself that didn't know any better. Have compassion on the little girl or little boy within you who, wanted a better relationship with their mom or dad. Have compassion for that part of you, but also learn to distinguish the difference between that inner child and the adult, and not to allow that child to rule. Okay? But that's all that I have, y'all. Gonna go to the store, pick up my groceries. I hope this was a big help to y'all in some type of way. Anybody else, if you notice anything that I mentioned, that's something you do. We got a lot of inner healing to do, honey. And that don't mean something's wrong with us. That doesn't mean we're toxic. That doesn't mean any of that. It just means we have some growing to do. We have some learning and unlearning to do. And also we have some forgiving to do as well. A lot of people don't realize that they need to forgive a parent until they become a parent themselves. It's just like, oh, wow, I see, I understand, I get it, so I forgive. The best way to forgive a person is to understand why they did what they did, to understand what really happened, understand their mentality, understand how they feel, So, yeah, now that I'm a mom, I understand my mom. I understand, why it was just us in the house. My mom did what she had to do. It wasn't that my dad left, So I understand. I see. I forgive, But, yeah, y'all. And also I do see that with my dad not being in my life, it doesn't mean that he doesn't love me. Everybody expresses their love a little different. And, yeah. Because there's some people in my life that I love that I just don't talk to anymore. I still pray for them and everything, but I don't talk to them, So yeah, that's all that I have though, you guys. I hope this was a big help. I'll go ahead and let you guys go. Give me kisses. Until next time. Toodles!